Today I'm going to be talking about variation in default. So a lot of teams I notice, right, they only have 2 or 3 defaults along with like the execs that they have. So one thing I notice, right, is when I play a lot of these teams is that once someone on the enemy team gives away like one piece of utility, you can instantly like kind of read into what they're going to be doing and which default they're going to be doing, right, for the round. So today I'll be talking about ways to keep your default objective the same, but keep the enemy like guessing on what you're doing as a solo player. Like you yourself can like single-handedly change what the enemy might think your default is or what you're gonna be doing in the round. Okay, so let's say your IGL, which is Viper, calls take B main, but he doesn't like really specify whether he wants you to take it slow or fast. That would probably mean like he wants you to have like creative control and like um, variation in the ways you take that part of the map, so you keep the opponents guessing and you don't kind of give away that you're going to be doing something like um, instantly. So let's say you're the Raze and you just nade it on repeat whenever your Viper says take B main, and now the enemies are kind of like conditioned, and if the Raze nades B main, then they're doing this B default, right, with 3 people towards her, because that's what they've been doing. So just keeping in mind that, I'm just going to go through like a few examples of how you should be like thinking, approaching like defaults as someone that's like not the IGL and someone that just is getting told to do stuff, right? So let's say whenever you take B main, you do raise nade and you do a sky flash, and that's like your B main take, your B main default take that you've been doing the most. Let's say you do this like 3 rounds in a whole attack half, and every time they see that, the enemies will be like, okay, that's the default, regular B main default, right? And they're conditioned throughout that time, every time you guys do this, that there is going to be 3 people B main, and 1 mid, 1 A. That's the example 1. Okay, let's say example 2, your IGL is still saying, okay, do a B main default. But now this time, right, you're like, okay, we should probably switch it up. And you two just come up and you just like dry peek it. Let's say they don't have enough money for AWP and you guys just dry swing it. And now what? You are still fulfilling the objective of taking B main in this B main default, but to the enemy, they don't know anything right now. They didn't hear the nade, they didn't see the flash. You guys have walked up, took the same part of the map as you did the previous few rounds of B main default, but it's a complete change in variation that the enemies have no clue that if you're actually in B main or not. And on top of this, if you do like some sort of pressure towards mid, and you like run up and fight and stuff, they will probably be thinking, oh, there's probably like at max 1 at the back of B main holding, and their pressure is towards mid. They're taking mid, or they could be walking up A, and they're naturally going to be more worried about the other areas of the map. So just that, a small change like that, where you change your util, you change whether you shift, you walk, how you swing stuff. Just a small change in that, like just adding a bit of creativity to your default, can instantly just keep the enemies on edge and make them not know what you're doing in the default, even though the objective is the same of taking B main. And third example, I talked about in the other video, but so you take B main, you come up and you do the smoke. Now this is like another way, or like another variation now, where this guy's info is blocked off here, and you can prod up a bit more. You can take aim doors up into heaven now. And now the heaven's guys like attention will be diverted towards B main because they need to fill that hole. And now it opens up holes around the map where the rest of the enemies will have to fill, right? And now people can like test the waters around this stuff, this areas of the map now. And in a sense, like you're still taking B main, but this time you're going up and you're taking aim doors now, and you're blocking off info here. So just different variations on repeat, same objective, different variations, different utility, different ways you want to approach stuff. Just like being creative with it. You can see on the map how much space it makes, how much how the enemies will react and stuff, it will be different every time compared to if you just do that one default of Sky Flash, Raise Nade, whenever your IGL calls to take beam in. To in a sense, if you do that on repeat, enemies will know what you're doing, and it doesn't really open up much for your team to work with. Okay, final example. Let's say you have like ults incorporated now into this default, and you kind of want to do like this fake after you do a B main take. So let's say at the start of round, you want to do maybe the same thing, nade, flash, and the enemy's head, they think, okay, it's just a normal B main default. And then you come up, you drop these two smokes, and you omen TP instantly into backside, and your raise will come out with a flash or something, and then you're trying to take space, take this area of the map. So this is still a B main default, right? Well, and this guy, when he's flashing, he's like running back towards A, like just faking it. And this is like an extreme like reaction now from the enemy team. All the previous ones, like when you do the raise nade and the sky flash, they're like, oh, this is just a normal B main default, we don't need to like rotate hard. And the other one where it's like you double shift walk up, they have no info. And now it's like extreme info where it could be a rush. It's most likely a rush actually. And now they're gonna be like hard rotating. But your guys' plan is still just B main default, take B main, take an area of the map here, and we're just gonna fake, and then we're gonna walk up A with a bomb. So just like different reactions from the enemy team based off the same like objective of taking B main, and just like having variance in your utility, the way you approach stuff, and just think like every round of like, how can I approach this differently but still have the same objective of taking this area of the map. And then of course like letting the rest of your team capitalize off the changes in utility, the changes in how you approach taking the area of the map, based off how you think the enemies will rotate or move or react based off that. So just further explaining it, so the objective is the same, right? Taking B main control, looking for picks, etc. But all of these will trigger different types of reactions. But any variation will cause different stuff to happen across the map when defaulting. And it's not necessarily up to the IGL to call stuff like that. You as a solo player or you as a group can come up with these little like mini ideas during the default. And then just making sure people across the map can capitalize off that is like the most important thing, because you don't want to just do something but have no follow-up and to like capitalize off what the enemy will react to the variance in utility or the way you approach the map, right? So a few of you probably don't even know what defaulting is, so I'm just going to explain it. Defaulting pretty much like taking areas of the map, right? And eliminating spots where the enemies could be. So when I say like take B main, you're just clearing B main and you're clearing this parts of the map where they could be. But yeah, like I said, in this game, different types of utility can trigger different types of responses from the enemy, right? So more costly utilities such as ultimates, when we commit Omen ult and stuff like that, it will trigger like heavier responses from the enemy team, such as heavier rotates, more willingness to stack the site, or you put the heavy utility in, for example the Omen ult. In comparison to if you do like the cheap utilities such as just a sky flash, they'll think, oh, it's like utility where the sky can just get it back, right? It's not that costly, and in the enemy's head, it won't trigger that heavy of a reaction compared to if you commit something like an Omen ult. Oh yeah, and so I reached 500 subscribers the video ago. I said that I will give away a free coaching session, so just like this video and comment something in the comments, and I'll pick someone for a free VOD review. So yeah, thanks for watching. And if you have any suggestions on what kind of content you want me to make, for example, if you're not familiar with a specific macro or micro mechanic in the game and you want to learn more about it, I can make a video on it if you just comment below as well. So thank you.